Hey guys, red black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. Good morning. Today Mengon plays. Today is the Supercup final, the big 2025 champion facing the Brazil Cup champion, the great Brazilian Libertadores champion, also from Rio. Debutus America's Challenger Cup, Flamengo, who won very important titles, the Supercup itself. Also in 2025, Flamengo, the current champion, current three-time champion, and can win the fourth title today. Flamengo then arriving for another final with Felipe Luis. Felipe Luis has a long record of victories and has successfully led Flamengo. And so here we are reminding you to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and leave a like on the video. It's very important. We're also letting you know that you can secure your spot at Flamengo's main games. There's still time for the Recopa. You can still get your spot at the Recopa Sudamericana. With Haroldo's Caravan, by getting in touch with Haroldo's Caravan, you won't regret it. It's a special treatment, and man, you're guaranteed. Reception and ticket included for presence in Rio de Janeiro, okay? Remember, you can lose weight with Mais Cabello. The Mais Slim program is outstanding. And I want to let you know, if you're coming to the United States, if you're going to invest here, if you want to dollarize your assets, you can buy your property with Vivi Homes Orlando. Vivi Homes Orlando has the best options for houses in Orlando and also in Miami. Contact them and mention Paparazzo Rubro Negro. You won't regret it. Many people are even scheduling visits to see homes here in the United States. And go ahead and schedule for me to join too, so you can be sure to get that photo with me. We'll have a chat and you'll get to know the best options with Vivi Homes Orlando. And if you're coming here, you can also get your home and car insurance. With the most awarded company in the region, which is IP Florida, the most awarded insurance broker in Florida, you can get your quote and be assisted by the best team, Ana Mira's team, which is amazing. Contact IP Florida for insurance. They're the provider. Well, let's go. I'll start right away by bringing you some important information regarding the lineups. We already know how Flamengo is. They should come with goalkeeper Rossi, Varela, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, and Alexandro. In the midfield, probably Eric Pulgar, Everton, Araujo, and Carrascal. Hey, but where's Paquetón Paquetá? Where's Arrascaeta? Where's Jorginho? Calm down, they're players who are still recovering physically. Paquetá just arrived, so these players are options. I'm sure Jorginho and Arrascaeta will come on in the second half. And we have Paquetá with the chance to get some minutes in this Sunday's match, in this Super Cup final, which could mean a fourth title for Flamengo. So Flamengo, as we know, with Felipe Luis has been extremely successful since Felipe took over Flamengo, winning many titles. We have to stay optimistic. We've already shared the probable lineup, noting that Saul traveled but isn't fit to play. De La Cruz and Danilo are still recovering from surgery, as well as Ayrton Lucas, who is also recovering from an injury. These guys may also not be available, but they're still listed. It's important to mention here that Flamengo still has some uncertainties. In this lineup, for example, up front, it's Samuelino, Plata, and Pedro. So Flamengo comes with, like I told you guys, I'll bring the lineup here again. Rossi, probably Varela, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, Alexandro, Eric Pulgar, Everton, Araujo, Carrascal, Samuelino or Everton, Cebolinha, Gonzalo, Plata, and Pedro. So this is the probable Flamengo lineup against Corinthians this Sunday. It's the final, the Supercopa do Brasil decider, the Brazilian League champion against the Copa do Brasil champion. The probable score, I always like to give my probable score. For me, it's 3-1 Flamengo. Probable score 3-1. Flamengo would bet on a game with more than 2.5 goals and Flamengo scoring more than 1.5, okay? So I also really believe that Flamengo will win both halves. Giving you some options, giving you some tips, also bringing you important information here about the game. The four-post Meridian Mané Garrincha game in Brasilia airs on Television Globo, free. Esporte Television, cable, Premiere, pay-per-view, and G Television, YouTube. Corinthians likely lineup: Hugo Souza, Mateuzinho, Gustavo Henrique, André Ramalho, Gabriel Paulista, Matheus Bidu, Ranieri, Carrillo, Breno, Bidon, Garro, Memphis Depay, Yuri Alberto, okay? This is the probable team of Coach Dorival Jr. And it's against everything and everyone, my friends. It's against everything and everyone. The refereeing and their combo are a shame. We'll have to deal with it. Rafael Rodrigo Klein from Rio Grande do Sul as the referee, the assistants Bruno Bosquilha and Rafael da Silva Alves from Rio Grande do Sul. Paraná and Rio Grande do Sul. This refereeing is a real combo. Look who's on video, assistant referee, my friends. Wilton the other day already made a mess. Now it's Rodrigo Klein, who already made a mistake the other day against Flamengo with video assistant referee Rodolfo Tosco Marques, or Tosco Marques as I call him, the famous Tosco Marques as I always say. So like I told you, Lucas Paquetero could be an option during the match. Now, an important piece of news for us to bring here is that the Rubro Negra supporters and other Flamengo fan groups are preparing a mosaic at the stadium. I saw their post here announcing that there will be mosaics from the Raça supporters and the other organized groups. North and Upper North, North and Lower as well. They will be there. Let me check exactly which sections. All in the Upper North section, Lower North, that's it. Upper North and Lower North, they will have it there. So it's very important for you to arrive early. You too, who arrive early, don't get up, don't move from your spot. Keep everything separated there. Keep it all organized there. Otherwise, you'll mess up the mosaic. So, guys, it's very important that everyone does it the right way, okay? I wanted to say once again here that it's, man, justice for Orelha. I can't stop thinking about what they did to this 10-year-old little dog. 10 years is equivalent to 65 years. For those who don't know, dogs age faster than we do. It was already an elderly dog, right? And if you follow me here, you know how much I love dogs. I just made a post on Instagram with Naoki and Azoka, right? Calling them pure souls, right? They're pure souls, and I can't understand how anyone could do harm to pure souls. That's how their souls are, man. The dogs, right? Even that dog that bites, that dog that's often aggressive and all that. It's because someone made him that way. Someone took bad care of him. Someone mistreated him. Someone abused that dog. That dog becomes angry. A dog that's raised with love, man, it doesn't matter what breed it is. I've heard people say things like, oh, not pit bulls, but pit bulls and Dobermans are both amazing. It all comes down to how they're raised. How they're raised. If you raise your child too, if you act selfishly and display bad behavior, he'll become a bad person. Now, if you raise a real man, if you raise him like I want to raise my son, Otto, so that he opens the door for people, so that he takes care of girls, of the family, of his cousin, of his mother, he cares for and is careful with women. A man, he has to be careful with women. A man doesn't raise his hand to a woman. On the contrary, he has to. Man, everything is about how you're raised. And the same thing goes for dogs. I take care of my dogs like they're my kids, man. The same thing goes for dogs. Now, knowing what happened to this little dog, Orelha, what they did to him, guys, it's unacceptable. We have to demand justice because it was something really absurd, really absurd. Look, bringing up the reason why Allan wasn't included, it's very likely that he wasn't included because Corinthians is trying to sign him. So how is he going to play against Corinthians, right? A decision if Corinthians wants to sign him, according to Raiz da Simplicio, Corinthians has shown interest again in signing Allan and is considering a possible move with Flamengo. Okay, so he was left out of the squad list for the Supercopa do Brasil, which increases the speculation about his future. All right? About Alassian, we also mentioned yesterday that it is a source close to Flamengo's board denies Zenit's interest in Alassian, but confirms that Flamengo, if an offer similar to the one from Bragantino comes in, Flamengo will negotiate, but they still want to keep a percentage. The thing with Alassian is that he could, in fact, be reintegrated into the squad, especially after the recent signing of Lucas Paquetá. We had Jared Bowen, the West Ham forward, commenting, and man, speaking of West Ham, there's no way not to talk about it, right, man? And the argument between João Pedro and Traoré. João Pedro is brave, huh? Traoré threw Cucurella to the ground, man, in a way that made him look like a rag doll, man. That was absurd. That should be a red card and a 1-year suspension. Then João Pedro went at him, got in my brother's face, pushed Traoré, and Traoré looked like my brother was a mixed martial arts fighter from the UFC. The guy was going after João Pedro. Then the brawl started. Another player grabbed João Pedro by the neck. It was just crazy. But I'm going to tell you guys, the forward from West Ham, right, Bowen? He said the following: Lucas Paquetá has been through hell and back in the last 2 years. I wish him all the best, and I hope to see him with that smile again that makes him so special on the field. Man, that's a nice statement from Lucas Paquetá's former teammate, especially knowing everything Lucas Paquetá has been through, right, guys? Let me share this with you too. An important post here regarding Marcos Leonardo, because there's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation that he could still come to Flamengo. We mentioned that his name was brought up, but Felipe Luis understood that after him, it would be his turn. That's why Flamengo didn't move forward with his position. His profile isn't what Flamengo was looking for. He's more like Pedro Flamengo, who plays similarly to Caio Jorge, right? So it's about having another option for Pedro. The striker Marcos Leonardo is close to playing in Spanish football for the first time on Felipe Luis's team over there, right? Look, then he could be coached by Felipe Luis. Marcos Leonardo could be coached by Felipe Luis in about 2 years, right? Atletico, the one from Madrid, has advanced in talks with Al Hilal to sign the Brazilian on loan until the end of the season. With a purchase option set at 40 million euros, that's 249 million reais, so a loan to Atletico de Madrid, right? With a purchase option set at 40 million euros, I told you they would rather send him to Europe. It's amazing, man. They make everything easier when it's in Europe, right? They loan him to Atletico de Madrid with a purchase option of 40 million euros. He was even evaluated by Flamengo, right? Recently, he caught the attention of Diego Simeone's club, which is seeking offensive reinforcements for the rest of the season. The negotiations are at an advanced stage, and the outcome may happen in the next few days, according to GE. Impressive, right? Now, when it's Flamengo, they want to charge absurd amounts with Atletico de Madrid. Europe, right, my friends? Then they even offer him on loan. And look at that. The big transfers since the arrival of Jose Boto. SofaScore brought here Lucas Paquetá for 42 million, Samuel Lino for 22 million, Jorge Carrascal for 12 million, all in euros, right? Emerson Royal for 9 million, Danilo for free, Jorginho for free, Saul Niguez for free, actually just signing bonuses, right? The results also included sales. SofaScore shows sales made by Jose Boto. Gerson, 25 million euros, Wesley, 25 million euros, Alcaraz, 15 million euros, Mateus Gonçalves, 9 million euros. Fabricio Bruno, 7 million euros. Juninho, 5 million euros. And we still have more, right? Matias was coming. Michael was a contract termination. But as for sales, even Matias could become a sale. It's a loan with the possibility of a sale. There's also Allan, right? There are some situations being confirmed that could also turn into possible sales, right? In this work by Jose Boto. So Flamengo made some interesting sales and also signed some really good players. People will complain about Emerson Royal, but let's be fair. He played great against Vasco, though he struggled in some games. Still, I believe in him. Rodinei had worse phases and was criticized even more, and then he shined, so I think anything is possible. Wesley, man. Look at how Wesley is. He's in the same position today. Rodinei, Wesley, they're all right backs. They're always criticized and then end up turning things around. Who knows? Maybe we'll also have our dear Emerson Royal turning things around. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Look, our friend is Flalusquinhos, right? He's also always very well informed about Flamengo, and we know he brings interesting information. He said, here, look, hot market, Flamengo's management has decided they might sign someone. Danilo from Botafogo, they're monitoring the situation, right? We had already talked about this, about Danilo and the problem he's having at Botafogo, right? Legal action and other steps to get payments. You see? After signing Lucas Paquetá, Flamengo is still watching the market and monitoring Danilo from Botafogo. Raiza Simplicio reports that the midfielder is dealing with financial and legal issues at the rival club, such as delayed salaries. Actually, it's a matter of image rights, if I'm not mistaken. There's the severance fund, but they've already settled debts in court. Fla is considering a possible move to strengthen the midfield if an opportunity arises. It's that thing I always talk about. It's not that Flamengo is looking to sign another player, but it's a matter of market opportunity. A market opportunity came up, right? Including involving Danilo. Flamengo is there and might take advantage of this chance, right? With this market opportunity, Flamengo might take advantage just like they've done recently, including the Caio Jorge situation I mentioned to you. The money Flamengo saved by not signing Caio Jorge already shows us that Flamengo is there, keeping an eye on the market, and when an opportunity comes up to use that budget to sign someone, obviously in installments, they can bring in a great player from Mengao, man. So I think we're reaching the end of our video, always bringing you a lot of information. I think we can be pretty optimistic about Flamengo, even with the losses to Fluminense and São Paulo. I'll tell you something. I prefer a down-to-earth Flamengo, a humble Flamengo, rather than an arrogant Flamengo. Flamengo coming off a loss. It's not that I enjoy losing, but after a loss, Flamengo stays grounded. It's different, man. It's different. It's not the same as beating Fluminense or beating São Paulo. After everything that happened last year, all that hype around Flamengo, now that cold shower brings them back with seriousness. I think we could have a great game today against Corinthians. That's right. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Thanks for your company. Red and black greetings. This is Flamengo, where it feels like minus 12 degrees. It's really bad. Yeah, do you think I'm lying? I'll show you here. Hold on. Let's see how it is. It's early morning right now while I'm recording. Look here. I'll show you approximately right here, right now, where I am. Severe weather. Winter garden where I live. Look at this. Here, look. Winter garden. It's 1 degree right now and it feels like minus 12, minus 12. It's 1 degree but feels like minus 12. That's intense. Soon the low will be minus 1. I'm recording between 3 and 4 a.m. and it's getting colder. Around 6 a.m. it starts to warm up a bit. Now the coldest time is coming, 4 or 5 a.m. with minus 1 degree and wind chill down to minus 14. And then I have to go outside to take the dog out to do his business. Let me tell you, man, it's freezing, my brother. If it drizzles, it snows. Seriously, that's how snow forms, right? Big hug, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. Mano, for the video, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Thanks. See you later.